of me, best believe you get double. Israel is gonna be the flame, you gonna be the stubble. You gonna be the stubble. The things that I say are the truth, I don't gotta lie. I don't gotta lie. You kill it.
Sheesh! Yeah! My people going to war. We bringing out the fire. Those heathens we ignore. Cause we know that they're liars. I'm reading in the we reading in the they reading in
Shalom, Most High in Christ bless Israel, Most High in Christ bless. Thank you for tuning in to In the Scripts. I know I haven't been here a long time.
It's been a minute.
It's
been a minute.
Hey, we got somebody.
But good to see you back.
Hey, I had to show up. Had to show up tonight. We got a special guest in the building. A man that needs no introduction.
That's right.
Deacon, mighty Deacon Labachaa, the hammer. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, all praise to the Most High, man. Give me the opportunity to be here.
All praises. The deacon
Happy to
came
be
down for a wedding. We had a nice wedding, and he's been here ever since. So he wanted to come into the show tonight. He said this is the best show in Israel United in Christ.
Oh, praise to the Most High.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We got the
I don't
blessing.
know about that.
We got the blessing from the
But
mighty
since you're
deacon.
saying that, I'm going to honor that.
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. So what do we have tonight?
Tonight, the show is part 2 of Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness. So we're
like
going to be
that.
discussing, it's dealing with code switching and the things that we go through in order to make them feel comfortable with us.
I like that. That's a very catchy title. Who came up with that? You, Officer Lemuel, or Officer Yaakov?
Well, it's actually inspired by a book. There's a book that a sister wrote on one of the videos that we're going to watch. And, she had a lot of the same experiences we go through where you're having to conform to the dominant society, being Esau, the so-called white man. And so she was actually the inspiration for the title of the show, her book.
Now, was that book a bestseller, or it was just your
She's selling it self-published or whatever. So, because she's an author, but she's self-published. So I don't know what her numbers are, but I'm sure she's probably sold quite a few.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what they say: if you want to hide something from a Negro, put it in the book.
Put it in the book.
So those are the kind of books. The main book is the Bible, but those other books that are out there that complement the Bible, I should say, for the lack of better words, those are the things that our people need to read. Like this book that you just mentioned. There's another book by Michelle Alexander, I believe her name is, The New Jim Crow. Those are the kind of books that our people got to meditate on, man. Leave social media alone. Leave social media alone and come back. Come back to these books that'll help open your eyes, because our people are straight blind. All right, give me Revelation 3:18 before we get into the first article. Revelation 3:18.
The book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire.
Read.
That thou mayest be rich.
Go ahead.
And white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed.
So the Most High wants to clothe us in white raiment. Go ahead.
And that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear.
That's going into sin. Go ahead. This is the part that I wanted. Go ahead.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve.
Just like the title says, black dignity in a world of whiteness.
Yes.
So our people, they have a problem with this assimilation and integration. Even now in 2020, all these different things that keep reoccurring to our people, their eyes are still blind. So the Most High said, anoint thine eyes with eye salve. That's how you know we're truly blessed with the presence of Deacon Labachaa. Somebody's calling in already.
Right.
Answer the call. Shalom, Most High in Christ bless, caller. Who's speaking? Caller. The call dropped. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, shalom, Most High in Christ bless. Who's this?
Yeah, this is Gold Bar.
Gold Bar?
Hello?
Yes, how you doing? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Okay.
So I have been surely been watching everything that the what he said Israel United in Christ.
Yeah, that's the name of our organization.
But as a king,
Mm-hmm.
and a man that loves all black people, I hope you have a little patience to speak with me. As we are Life Almighty servants,
Mm-hmm.
I would love for you to be patient with me, and I hope the agenda is to speak the truth to the black man, which is desperate. We are desperate for the true core commandments and laws of Life Almighty.
Absolutely.
Like
That's
we can't live with them.
we plan
We
on.
live without them. We are suffering.
Yeah, that's what we
In our
plan on.
countries, in our communities,
Hold on, brother.
everywhere. So to make Life Almighty to be more angry at
Yeah.
Israel
Yeah.
hurts my heart, because Life Almighty anger against us will bring more curse and more mental slavery and more madness upon our people.
Yeah.
So to see this organization, which should be an assembly or the congregation of Israel completely, and the name should be Israel United in Life Almighty, is a just
Okay.
because Life
That sounds
Almighty
great,
is jealous.
man. You sound very good. You sound
He's
good,
jealous.
man.
He's very
Hey,
jealous.
Stay tuned. Stay
We
tuned.
can't
Stay tuned for
we can't
the
say
class.
Israel
Yes.
is united in Christ.
Okay.
Israel
Thank
is
you, brother.
united in Life Almighty.
Yes, thank you. Life Almighty. Yeah, power to the people. So stay tuned and continue to support us and send in your donation. Okay, as I was saying, read the end of Revelation 3:18. Our people are bugged out. I thought somebody was calling in to salute the mighty deacon. We get Benjamin,
60 seconds
wild
into the
Benjamin,
show.
talking about Israel and Life Almighty and
Life
oh
Almighty.
man, I thought this dude was about to start talking about Haile Selassie and all this craziness. Read that last part of Revelation 3:18.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve,
Yeah.
that thou mayest see.
So the Most High wants us to anoint our eyes with eye salve, because all this time, like I said, with assimilation and integration, we've been looking through white man lenses, white man eyes. We have no understanding of what's going on. So now in our repentance, we got to realize, look, this world was not, this society was not made for us.
That's right.
That's why I love the title that you chose, Black Dignity in a World of Whiteness. Okay, and the only time we're going to have some dignity is when we come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
That's
We got to open our eyes.
Now, so with that, Cap, I wanna make sure, because I don't know if Officer Yakub and Officer Shema remember when we pulled up the definition of dignity. Pull up the definition of dignity again. I want to get y'all prepped and primed for what we're really talking about tonight. So this is the definition of dignity. This is just Google. The state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect.
That's
So when we talk about in this world amongst the dominant society, Esau, the so-called white man, and being in their world right now, what they say is black people are not worthy of being, are not worthy of honor or respect. It goes on to say, a sense of pride in oneself. Black people don't have no pride. What we prideful in is another video that we're getting ready to watch is twerking in the middle of a restaurant. That's the only level of pride black people got right now.
right.
It says self-respect, synonyms, self-esteem, self-worth, self-respect, pride, morale, decency, modesty, delicacy, feelings, sensibility. I don't know what that last word says.
Yeah, me.
I can't pronounce that.
Right. I'm more propane.
We'll answer calls at the end of the show. We got to get through the topic.
That's right.
So now that y'all got an understanding of what the word dignity actually means, we're talking about self-respect, honor, pride in oneself, self-esteem.
Yeah, but looking at the word in his proper form, that, you know what I mean, like the word itself, you have to be instructed to these words. You understand? But look at our people, they've never been instructed the way to to walk that straight line. So all these things that you see the product of our people today, they're being programmed to act the way they act. So now they say we don't have no self-respect, but we've been programmed. Yeah, look at the music they put in our neighborhood. Look at the drugs. Look at, you know what I mean? All these things they put in our neighborhood. Now we coming back now. We're like, yo, what's going on here? That's our job now to make sure we clear the parkway for our people, to make sure we make a proper ways for them. Because society has not done their job. Everybody playing their part of being wicked. But us, we cannot play no part being wicked because we was brought up in righteousness. So now we have to make the pathway for our people, for our son and our daughter. Because the same man who's saying that we don't have no moral, we look at the black community, it's the same man who prepped to be like this. You understand? Their music, look at their music alone will tell you. Look at the show our people watch on TV. You understand? That alone will tell you that we've been programmed, to look down upon. You understand? We've been programmed to say, you see, look at them. But the same people who say, look at them, is the same people who are in a higher class. You see what I'm saying to you?
Right.
To your point, D. To your point. Actually, earlier today, I forget what I was watching. I'm going to find it while we're looking at it. But one thing that the brother was saying, he said, you look at the music out. And it's actually a clip we brought out maybe a couple of months ago, months ago, where it said the music that is produced amongst white people, it's not self-destructive music. They're not talking about killing each other. They're not talking about who's sleeping with who. They're not talking about who's committing adultery with who. But when you look at the music that they allow us to produce and sell and push to the masses, it's all self-destructive music. So going back to what you're saying, Deke, about the programming that goes into our people, which plays a major part in us, our lack of dignity, our lack of self-respect, our lack of, another synonym, nobility, majesty, I don't know what's regality, all that plays a part. Officer Shemai, you had something.
No, I'm listening. I'm just listening to you. Because it's going into when the music is what got that female at that restaurant twerking on the wall. That's what causing all. It's the music. It got us bugged out.
Yeah, remember what the DJ, go ahead and cue that one up so people know what we're talking about. Because y'all going to see in the clip.
Hey, that was right here in Dallas.
That was here in
right
Dallas.
here in Dallas.
That was here in Dallas. I'm going to just let it play. Y'all got it? Because remember what he said, he told the DJ, I think I forget what the DJ's name was, but whatever. He told him to cut the music. But when you actually listen to the music, it's like twerk that, drop that, hit that. I'm like, what the hell? What else what other response are you looking for when you playing drop that, twerk that, shake that?
Let me show how deep this thing go. You see me like back then, we would watch MTV videos, right? That's like when you get in home or you hanging in the house. But these are the music they play in the club today, where the woman looking at the video, she want to be entitled to that video. She want to feel like it's a demonic spirit that dwell upon these people when they have to move by the sound because that's all they listen to. So now when it's time to react to it, you play that song, they're going to react to what they heard. You understand me? But if you play a slow song, that's not what they know. So they're going to react, man, like you said, the shake the booty, show the breast. That's what they can relate it to, because that's what they watch. For a perfect example, look at our Atlanta housewife. Perfect example. That's what these people watch. Or with their 50 cents, what was that thing?
Power.
Yeah, power. Look at these things. This thing is guaranteed for destruction, man.
Absolutely. You know what's crazy about that, and I'm going to let you get to the video after this, is what you said. These are the things that our people look up to. The twerking, the drug selling. This is the stuff that's in a place of dignity. Get me Ecclesiastes 10, verse 6. This is the thing that our people look up to. And there's no dignity in that. Okay? It's all folly. Read.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10 and verse 6. Read out. Folly is set in great dignity.
So folly is set in great dignity. All right? There's no black dignity. Black is just a color. So everything that's folly, they say, well, this is joined to the blacks. This is what the blacks like.
Exactly.
Folly is set in great dignity. Go ahead.
And the rich sit in low place.
And the rich sit in a low place. Who's the rich? Us. We're in a low place called captivity. All right? Why does it say rich sit in a low place? Well, God's covenants, promises was given to us. But look, all we do is just entertain folly, and the world knows that. So what they do, they profit off of our folly.
Give me the one in Deuteronomy. Madness. Give me the one in Deuteronomy right quick.
Deuteronomy 28.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
What you're seeing right now is the spirit of madness of our people, man. With all these laws who giving us directions, control over our thought and mind, we're going to look just like that. We're going to look just like the Lord said we're going to look and decide. We're living out a perception of people. What people perceive things should be. And now we're in the mind of the white man. I mean, we're living in the mind of the white man. That's the worst destructions for our people, living in the mind of the white man. And thinking that the American dream will get you a better education. The American dream will get you a better wealth. The American dream going to bring you to heaven. No, this is what God said. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Look at this thing. When you look at the black community, you have to really classify it as madness. Because no way a nation can act like that. That's impossible. You know, like I was in TikTok, many of the other nations, when they come up in TikTok, they show you they're creating something. Our black brothers and our sisters, all they're doing is clubbing, shake their booty. But the other nations show their creation. It's showing their creation. Look what I just created. Yeah, you know, marketing what they have created. But our people, either is gossiping, you know what I mean, tear-bearing, all type of wicked things in these media, man. They're not showing that their creation, what they're here to do. Then you claim that, your claims that you're Christians, man, but look at the work of Christianity. You know what I mean? You've been Christian all your life. Look at their works. It's demonic works. Christianity is the worst crack. I mean, it's the modern day crack. I mean, in the 80s, in the 70s. You understand? But now we have to wake up. The Lord said we're going to have the spirit of what? Madness. Madness. That's what you see in the whole black community, man. Go ahead and play the video, bro.
Cue it up.
Hey, here's what they said also, officer. Are they about to play it?
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel.
The hell is this?
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing
she was
this
on the
concept,
couch, right?
so black people can have somewhere nice to go to.
Yeah, she was on the
Somewhere where we
couch,
can
and that's
feel good.
glass right there.
So she was having a Rick James moment.
Yeah.
Stepping all over that man's couch.
Exactly.
And she, as big as she is, she leaning on the glass, and what the owner was saying was that he don't want no lawsuit. He don't want her coming after her saying, you know, blood everywhere because she done fell through the glass or something like that.
Twerking and carrying on.
Yeah, just to twerk.
Well, all you got to do is just sit down and eat. Just sit down and eat and enjoy your meal. Have a nice night.
But with that, play it again. Did y'all play it all the way through?
No.
Okay, play it again. Play it from the beginning. Now y'all listen to the music.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a... Laquan, stop the music, please.
Pause it real quick. Listen, y'all really couldn't hear the music, but he said, Daquan, turn the music down, because you still got the club music playing in the background. So that goes back to what you were saying, D. You programming them while they eating. This is a club vibe. Okay, well, we in the club. Them nice restaurants that you go to, them Edomite restaurants that y'all go to, y'all eating y'all shrimp and crab and all that stuff, they playing classical music and all this stuff. For us, because we're programmed to, club vibe, it don't matter what you serving. We got to have something to twerk to. We got to have something crazy as hell and then say, y'all got to have, play on, because he said something. Play on.
Concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a... Laquan, stop the music, please.
Pause it. There you go. That's what he said. He said somewhere where we can go to feel good about ourselves. How is it that you feel good about yourself and you got shake that, drop that, twist that, twerk that playing in the background throughout the whole restaurant?
And they claiming that's our culture, so that's what they supposed to do in this culture.
But that's the thing.
twerking. Yeah, there you go.
That's the thing. Hip hop is our culture.
It's our culture.
R&B, that's what we claim as a culture. So that when you claim it as a culture, you're saying that's your identity. That's what you are. You identify as a twerker. I identify as a whatever, a thought or whatever it is, right? So go ahead.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men?
Yeah, you notice that my man is not talking to kids.
Right.
He's talking to grown up. You know, that's what make it like disturbing, man. Those are grown up people. You understand? You have to tell that to a grown up people. That you trying to have where you have a nice place where black people can be part of themselves, but that's what they do. You understand? Then the white man, which is really give him the license to get this place, either the alcohol license, they're looking back, they're looking, they're like, wow, I didn't think this thing was going to be like this. That's like crazy, man. Right. They're talking to grown-up people. Bugged out Jake.
That's why the scripture says it's an astonishment. That's an astonishment, man.
Yeah.
You know, and then you know what's crazy about it is he got a lot of backlash from that.
He did.
He got a lot of backlash from that on Yelp. People went on Yelp and gave him a 1 star. And when you look at the when you go onto the website and you actually examine the pictures of the club, the menu, and not the club, the restaurant, and the way things are set up, it looks very nice. So I'm like, damn, all of these women are giving him a 1 star. You know, those were those thoughts that was in there.
Right.
So, you know, so us as men of the Lord who are forward thinkers, who take the initiative, how do you think we're going to counterattack that? What is the best way to counterattack that?
I'm going to go ahead, Cap. I'm going to take my rib there and support it. That's what I'm going to do.
The daughters of Sarah got to show up on the scene. And show them, look, we don't all dress like that. We don't get up in the middle of restaurants and thought and twerk and do the Rick James all over your couch. Okay? And we carry ourselves accordingly, the way women should. So that's what we're going to do.
All praise to the Most High for that.
And Cap, that's a heavy point because the first time I saw the video, the first thing that I thought about it was, yeah, you're in a restaurant, you're playing that type of music, but when you look at the story, there were 3 tables of sisters that were all together. They were the ones that were causing the mess. So that means if there was 20 tables in that restaurant, 17 of those tables, majority women, at least had enough coot, as my grandmother used to say, to not get up and throw it in a circle in the middle of the restaurant. So it goes into the music, but I believe it also goes into the understanding of decency and some dignity. Because like you said, if our sisters went in there, the music, you know, they're spiritual, they know how to block it out, but the music playing won't change the way that they're gonna act. They have a level of dignity already instilled within themselves so that the music does not, you know, counter or change the way that they're gonna behave. And I think that we have to learn to understand that as well and chastise them at that level.
Yeah, man, but even though now when you look at the black restaurants, yeah, they turn it not only to a restaurant, they turn it to a club restaurant. But when you have that type of environment, you better expect things like that to happen. There is no if or maybe. It's gonna happen.
Right.
You understand? So if you selling a wicked product, guess what? You're gonna have wicked people buying the product. You understand? If you're serving a good product, you're gonna have nice people come in and buy the product. So the owner of that in the environment too, man, you got to really have to understand that you want the money, but the environment you set up is not going to be good for you. You understand? That's why I'm telling you, every club and every restaurant black people earn, that's how they roll now. You know, the big TV, fire music is playing everywhere. People shake their, really like MTV inside the whole restaurant.
It's like a club.
Yeah, well, what you expect the people? When they look at things like that, then the demon on them really want to show themselves. You understand? Like you just said, the vain spirit want to show himself. They want to prove something. Then you like, oh, look at this. Then the next one going to do it. The next one going to do it. But the brother then realize when you set the environment, yeah, is money being made, but you better be ready for the folly that's going to come out the money being made.
That's right. That's right. Read that. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
That's what Deacon is talking about.
Right.
Evil communication. With that evil communication, the music that's playing in the background, there's a spirit that comes along with
Right.
that. There are actions. There's a reaction to that action.
Right.
And when you're playing music like that, you putting that thotty spirit in the air.
Right, right.
I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it.
It
That
worked
thotty
for me. A
spirit.
thotty spirit.
Amen. Amen. That sounds like spiritual. Amen.
So go ahead, play.
So beyond that, 75% of my customers
Go back
are ladies.
maybe
And I'm on men
7
to show
seconds.
respect for themselves, for how they carry themselves. Don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I'm on men to show respect for themselves, for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are talking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
That definitely deserves a bomb. I love the
Yeah, it should have been a hand clap after that, man.
For
We should have
real.
got a hand
That's
clap.
exactly,
Got a hand clap.
This is beautiful right
Clap
here.
his hands for themselves.
He straight told him, look, man, get the hell out the restaurant.
That's it.
That's right, Cap. That's right.
But he's definitely going to have to make a change, Deke. I agree. The change is going to have to, that was his wake-up call, that, hey, you can't throw your A in a circle music in a restaurant where you expect women to act ladylike.
Yeah, I had meet a white boy who about to have a lawsuit. He said he's about to open the biggest club in the neighborhood. He's told me with his own mouth, he's in my car. He tell me that I will never open my thing to black people. That's what he said, man. You know what I mean? He said, I will never let no hip-hop play in my stuff. I will never let no rap play in my stuff. That's what he said. You understand? Because he know what kind of product this type of music bring.
Right.
They bring wickedness, man. I'm telling you, guns, drugs, alcohol, type of things, man, that type of music bring.
Those facts.
Wow.
Those facts.
Yes.
A lot of times, Cap, I heard somebody say this. Remember Black Lives Matter was running hard all through the summer, right? And the police was trying to break up the riots. They said all they had to do was play some twerking music and they would have dropped them signs and got busy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, if somebody call, we'll answer it, right? But the second you hear any foolishness, hit end. Because somebody might be calling to speak to the deacon.
Right.
Okay?
Go ahead. Okay, so let's go up to the top. We're going to deal with black dignity in a world made for whiteness. So even when we get educations and try to do what it is they've commanded of us, of being educated and in positions of power, certain things still happen because of our blackness, our so-called blackness. So let's pull up this video dealing with this constable in Ellis County. And let's see if his educated blackness is treated any differently.
Like a lot of old Texas courthouses, some of the history at the historic Ellis County Courthouse is a segregated history. This word is still painted on a wall where a water fountain used to be.
The hell
a
is
fountain
this?
Black people were forced to use. Constable Curtis Polk Jr. is Ellis County's only Black elected official. He took this picture and shared it with us so you can see what he has to see right outside his new temporary office.
Being an African American, you know, I'm all about the history, what we see, where we have came from to the times that we are now. But, you know, that is kind of hurtful to me right now.
I'll work with Constable Polk.
Ellis County commissioners shuffled some offices in early November, pending an expansion. Polk says the move left him as the only elected office holder in the county without a private office. He says he now has to store confidential police files in an unsecured area right beside that sign.
I would suggest the signage was kept, so the evil of requiring people of another color to drink at an alternate water fountain would never happen again.
The county judge posted this video on Facebook after Polk made his concerns public.
I'm saddened that Constable Polk has been hurt by this office relocation process.
Polk does not believe this move was racially motivated.
I don't believe that they will cross that line.
But he does want his own space because he says he deserves to be treated as equal to all of Ellis County's elected leaders.
I have to keep pushing, you know. I'm here to do a job for the people here in this county that elected me.
In Waxahachie, I'm Teresa Woodard.
Come on now, dog.
Jeez.
Yeah, you know, man, how you see white people bias. But this is 2020, right? But he's talking like, oh, there was just there's just an accident. A person make a mistake. But this is 2020. Things like that should not happen if white people was not racist. You understand? That's why we have to looking at the roots of things. You see, man, the way they talk with their lying tongues. That was not racist. Come on, man. This is 2020. Look at America today. Look at Donald Trump. Look at the whole democracy things going on. Donald Trump should not have no vote if America was just. That's what to show you how wicked America is. When white men come in front of us talking about, oh, there was not racist. No. It's a lying tongue. He know that was racist. You understand? Then if that was why we have to come in this modern day, 2020, talk about racist. If America was never racist. America's establishment is on racist.
You can answer that. Shalom, Most High in Christ, blessed caller. Question or comment?
Hi, this is Brother Josue. I live over here in California.
All right,
I just want to say, hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Shalom. So about the thing in the restaurant, somebody mentioned, one of the officers mentioned, well, just imagine, because I used to work at restaurants, and if there was a table of sisters with head wraps and long dresses and, acting righteous, and the scripture says, what does it say, that a city on a hill cannot be hid?
Yes, sir.
So I think if you were just a picture, just a bunch of righteous brothers and sisters walk in, that would change the whole vibe, and that's part of being the light, So that's all I want to say. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's all I
No, it
want
makes
to
a
say.
lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. We were just talking about that. All praises to the Most High. All right, thank you for calling in.
All praise to the Most High.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So let's go to the next video because Edom has a thing where their mouth falls on themselves. Go to the right below the one that says watch Nightline episodes. It's a TikTok video, and it's an Edomite.
Now, is this going into the same thing with this brother, the constable?
Yes.
With the Negro sign that was in his office?
Yes. It's gonna speak to how they view us whenever we try to speak or act like we are.
So what was the end result? Did they give him a new office?
Man,
What
that
happened?
joke-
Haven't seen an up. I haven't seen an update.
I haven't
since
seen
then.
an update on it.
He probably
Yeah.
still in the basement. They moved his office because they say the office was full, and they moved him down in the basement at the bottom. He's an Israelite. He's at the bottom.
Right.
What it says Negro,
Dang.
where they couldn't drink out the water fountain. That was on purpose, just like Deacon said. They come out the womb speaking lies. They knew exactly what they was doing. They
Yes.
was crafty with their brother.
Right.
It's just something about us. We just got our hearts are so soft. We so naive.
Docile.
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 They play us any kind of way they want to play us. But go ahead. I just thought I'd share that.
Right. All right. Yeah. So let's click on that TikTok because their mouth is gonna fall on themselves. Y'all see that one?
Fellow white women, oftentimes when we are interacting with black women, there is this old thought that's been handed down to us for generations, old, sometimes in our unconscious, subconscious mind, that when a black woman does or says something that makes us uncomfortable, something goes off. That's not the way it should be. We hearken back to this time when we are the masters and black women are supposed to be subservient to us. If you see a black woman doing or saying anything and your thought is, that's not respectable, that's not acceptable, she can't talk that way, she can't act that way, you're saying in your mind that you as a white woman are the one who gets to determine for her what is acceptable and what is respectable. You're putting yourself above her. That is white supremacy. Fellow.
Damn. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Austin.
Oh, you guys on the?
Let me show you how heavy what she say is, right? You're looking at a tape recorder, for example.
Women.
A tape recorder, right? You can put enough things in
Fellow
a tape
white women.
recorder, right? But the tape recorder cannot play other things but the thing you put in it, right? So you go back now, all the way into the 60s. You go back when we first start standing up. None of our brothers and our sisters stand up for being pride. Stand up firm, because we would still have it today. And then you're looking at how that trims their ways, how that trims their ways, how that trims their ways. Now, you've been programmed all this time to be on TV. I want to be the best. Look at Oprah for a perfect example. How she has to change to be representing herself on TV. You understand? All these things, the newcomer now, you think they will have self-pride to say, you know what, let me do the Afro. You know what, let me go. I'm so confident. So what, they don't hire me. We can do our own thing. You understand? They're not gonna say that, because they want to be feed in. It's all about being a part of the society. Then you got to understand, who's the higher in the society? The white man, the white woman. So you want to trim yourself after them. That's common sense. So when we rule the planet Earth, they're going to trim themselves after us.
That's right.
That's right. That's a great point. And you know, a lot of these things, black people just want to forget the past. They want to forget the past.
Right.
Like the brother that said, oh, the wall said Negroes, and they purposely did that. They purposely did it. Hey, nah, let's put some fresh white paint over it, and that'll just make everything go away. No, the Most High has all of these things there for a reason. The Most High had her say that for a reason. Like, Negroes, wake up. Get Ecclesiastes 3 verse 10 real quick. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 10. The Most High, look, we might want to forget the past, but the Most High does not forget the past.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys something. You see me what you just said, Cap, about this thing been up for a long time? People don't realize it's not about putting paint it out. That's not the case. The case is the point already made. Exactly. It's just like you playing chess game, right? You check the. You cannot bring it back. You understand? He been checked. So that white man now who come in the office, he got to understand that, yo, don't try nothing funny here. You understand? That's the statement that made. Regardless you paint it up, that don't mean nothing. You already make your statement. Some statement you cannot change. That's what people don't understand.
Exactly. And no matter how many sorries, or they can move him to another office where it's just gold and diamond on the wall. You already made that statement, you know? So Negroes want to forget the past, but the Most High don't. Read what you got.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 9. Verse 10. I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it.
Ecclesiastes 3 verse 15. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 15. That which hath been is now.
Go ahead. And that which has been is now. This is racism ever since we got off the cargo slave ship. For some odd reason, when we were emancipated, people thought it would go away. No, it was followed by Jim Crow, black code laws, KKK. After that, when Martin Luther King was walking and getting watermelons thrown at him with fried chicken, people thought it would go away. Now we're in 2020. What do you have? All these lynchings recently, right? Black people getting shot down on the street, still fighting for civil rights. All right, nothing is going to change. Go ahead.
And that which is to be hath already been.
Go ahead.
And God requireth that which is past.
God is going to require that which is past. So you so-called blacks, you could say, well, that was a long time ago. Put the white paint on the wall, erase it. I don't want to see it no more, but God said, nah, he's going to require that which is past, all right? You may want to forget about the past, but not God.
Right. Let me show you guys how heavy this thing is. Oprah, she's a billionaire, right? So why would Oprah complain about any racism? Why would she complain about that? If it's all about money, why would she complain about that? Why would, when they kill our children in every street, then she feel like to say something? Because it's in her spirit to say things. Because even her rising up in society, she still face racism. I'm telling you straight. You understand? So our people have to realize it's not all about the money. The money is to blind your eyes, but the reality still remains. When they was putting dogs on us, water hole, you have to understand this mindset doesn't change. Their mindset doesn't change. White people doesn't change. If God make a lion gonna be a lion. If God make a dog gonna act like a dog. If God make a snake gonna act like a snake. But while we get to the white man, we think he can change. He's a beast.
The hammer time.
Yes.
It's hammer time.
So in looking at that, based on what she said, so now we're going to look at a comparative situation, a situation where a black man has a gun and the cops approach him. And then we're going to look at the situation where a so-called white man has a gun and cops approach him. Let's go to that next story. This just happened last week. It was brought out yesterday, I believe. A young man by the name of Casey Goodson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's pull that up.
Columbus, Ohio?
Yeah, in Columbus, Ohio. All right. Now, it says, feds to investigate after a sheriff's deputy killed a black man entering his own home in Columbus, Ohio. A sheriff's deputy working for a fugitive task force shot and killed a black man trying to enter his own home in Columbus, Ohio, last week in a case that is now being investigated by federal authorities. Casey Goodson, 23, was fatally shot on Friday by a 17-year veteran of the Franklin County Sheriff's Office, identified as Deputy Jason Meade. Meade was working for the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force looking for violent offenders at the time. But Goodson was not the person being sought by the task force, Columbus police said. Goodson had put his key into his door before he was shot and fell into the kitchen, where his 5-year-old brother and his 72-year-old grandmother saw him lying on the ground with a Subway sandwich. Family attorney Sean Walton told CNN, Goodson, an Ohio concealed carry permit holder, was legally armed at the time of the shooting. According to the Columbus Division of Police, Goodson was not alleged to have committed any crimes, has no criminal background, and was not target of any investigation, Walton told CNN.
But hold on, I think you read past something. You said he was on the floor with a sandwich?
He had a
Subway
sandwich in his hand.
So that sandwich might have looked like an AR-15. Have you ever seen a pitch black sandwich?
It had to be.
That sandwich probably, it's adjustable cause.
Right.
That sandwich probably looked like an AR-15. There you go.
Right. Well, in Brooklyn.
And the lettuce, the green lettuce was the ammo.
It was the ammo.
Yeah.
There it is, Cat. There it is. So this happens to a so-called black entering his home, no trouble, no problems, no record, no nothing. Shot and killed by a 17-year-old veteran. Let's go to the next video. Let's go to the next story, and let's see whether or not there is differences in America in the way that they deal with things. This video shocked me, and it's in Ohio as well.
He said he's not going to shut off the car, so. Okay, that's all right. Just keep an eye on it. Just get the right foot. Just start with a second. Put your hands on the steering wheel. No.
What the hell is this?
What are you reaching for?
Oh, whoa. Hey,
Get out of the car, man. You got a gun right there.
Whoa. There's rights to this.
Get out.
There are rights to this.
Do you have a consent?
There are rights there.
Whoa. Get out.
Hold up right there. It's open. My hands are up. My hands are up. No.
You got
This is on body cam. You have body cam, sir? Give a body
Hey,
cam.
if it was a black person,
Put your hand over your
he
eyes.
grabbed his wrist.
Come on,
There's a gun in the car. No
What the hell
shots
is
fired.
this?
None.
No.
And he reached for the gun.
Right.
He reaches for the gun. Let it play.
This is on body cam. You have body cam, sir?
Put
Give
your
a body
hands
cam.
over your eyes.
Do you have a body cam?
Put your hand over
Do you
your
have
eyes.
a body cam, sir?
Put your hands
Do
over
you
your
have a
eyes.
body cam, sir? Yeah, you're gonna.
I will send this dog on you.
I will shoot you if you do.
Don't fucking grab
Pause,
me.
pause. The cop says, I will sick this dog on you. His response was, and I will shoot you if you do. A world made for whiteness.
What the hell is this?
I will shoot you if you do. Let it play.
Put your hands over your eyes.
Do you have a body cam?
Put your hand over
Do you
your
have
eyes.
a body cam, sir?
Put your hands over
Do you
your
have a
eyes.
body cam, sir? Yeah, you're gonna.
I will send this dog on you.
I will shoot you if you do.
Don't fucking grab that gun.
You have rights.
Put your
Hey,
hands.
you have rights too. You have rights
Don't
too.
you
You
dare.
have rights. You have rights. You
Right.
cannot
Don't you
shoot me
dare.
here.
You
This is
need to be-
unconstitutional. You know that.
Right, you have a
Whoa.
weapon,
Hey.
okay?
Yes, I
Don't.
do. It is.
Don't. What I need you to do.
Hey, you
Oh,
guys
listen.
are grabbing me on this. Is also unconstitutional. Body cam. Body cam request.
Can you quit yelling so I can talk to you?
You have a gun for me, sir.
right now. I need you to
What the hell
relax
is
for me,
this?
okay?
I will shoot you if this possible. That's a threat, and it's open there. You have no body cam. You know this.
He has a
My
body
hands are open. My hands are open. My hands are open.
You need to get out of the
No,
car
I
so
do
we
not.
can remove you
I
from
do
that
not.
weapon.
You cannot. No, it is constitutionally owned. I see that.
Do you have a concealed carry permit?
It's
the hell
not
is this?
concealed. Yes, you can see the weapons right there.
Don't
Body
do
cam.
it.
Body, okay. What are you afraid of?
Notice how long this is going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? If this was Philando Castile, would have been dead. Mike Brown, he would have been dead.
This
Tamir
wouldn't have
Rice,
been
he
no-
would have been dead.
This wouldn't have been no conversation. There wouldn't have been no back and forth, none of that.
No.
That dude would have been on top of that hood. The whoever this other cop was would have been in the back. They would have had 10 other squad cars by the time it got to. It wouldn't even got to this point.
Let's finish it out. Let's finish it out.
Don't
Body
do
cam.
it.
Body,
Okay.
What are you afraid of?
Don't
Do it. I'm not doing anything.
Do me a favor. Just please step out of the car. That's all we're asking you to do.
Oh, you're asking me not to use that gun?
Yes.
Yes, please give me your weapons, please.
No.
This is how we treat each other civilly. This is not how we act civilly. You know
Sir.
this. Right eye! Right eye! You got cover?
No. Just
Yes, we do.
don't. Just
Do
please.
you have body cam?
Please.
Do you have body cam? Do not forcibly remove
Do
me
not.
from
Don't.
the car.
Do it.
You know
Don't.
that. You know that. That's not
Please.
I need you to get out of the car.
Else. Ben, else.
Hey, I see double blue, sir. They're gonna shoot me on double blue?
Just relax.
No,
Please
just relax. There's
please
rights
get out of
to
the car.
this. There's rights to this. You know there are rights to
Listen,
this.
we can figure this out.
We can talk about this, okay?
Oh, this is how
But
you
right
feel
now,
about this.
we can't talk about it with you not listening
Hold
to
on,
us.
hold on. Press pause. The officer reholstered his pistol, and he told him we could talk this out.
The hell is this?
But why are we surprised, though? We shouldn't be surprised. We can't expect the oppressor to be nice to us. It's impossible.
Yeah, but sometimes when we talk, people think we crazy. They're thinking we get in our emotion and our feeling. No, that's not what's going on here. What's going on here is they're looking at us as animal. Bro. I'm telling you straight up, in their mind, in the eyes of the white man, he's looking at us as animal. That's why they're killing us in every street. You understand? You would think that if we have so-called black leaders, you know what I mean, who claim, you know what I mean, like society know about, you think they would do that to us? If they know that, you know what I mean, yeah, they would have been paid for what they did. You think they would do that? They would not do that. Because they know that we don't have no leader. We don't have so-called black leader. They already buy them all. You understand? They're not going to come and say that's evil. You understand? But when we talk and we reveal the truth, then they say we bugged out our mind. No, you bugged out your mind.
Right.
Hey, D, because every time they shoot us down in the streets, it is an act of war. That's an act of war. But we don't have a spot in the UN, and like you said, we don't even have leaders that stand up for us. Even our so-called leaders, as far as the athletes, the superstars, they never stand up for us. If they do, they get sit down. So
quick and speedy.
You want to finish it out, officer? How you want to do it?
Yeah, because I want y'all to see the end of this thing.
Okay.
You are forcibly grabbing.
All I'm asking you to do.
You're violating my rights right now. Let go of me.
You just put your hand on a gun,
Sir.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, you pulled a gun on me unconstitutionally.
Please.
And I did my interests.
Oh, we don't want
Please.
to do this, man.
Just get out of the car. I'm just asking. We'll get this figured out. Just come out and just get out of the car.
You release me now.
We can't do that.
Release it. I have Second Amendment rights, David.
Okay. Just get out of the car. Come on, come back here. We'll
Excuse
talk
me?
about it.
Excuse me. This right here is the reason
We'll
to
get
defend
this-
myself, cast a doctrine. You know that.
We'll get this figured out. Don't do it. Please. Just come on.
Get out of the car, sir.
Just get out of the car. Just step out.
The gun's down.
No, just step out. Just step out of the car. Don't do it.
Get out of the car.
You're on double blue. You know what's gonna happen, right?
Just stop.
Come on now. Get out of the car. That's a lawful order.
Come on, man. Oh, take me to jail. Go ahead.
Just come on.
You're obstructing.
Watch this.
No, you're obstructing. You're pointing a gun at me, sir. Right now, my life's in threat.
Okay. Well, we have.
I don't even see body cam on this, sir. I'm just gonna drive away. I'm not gonna bother anybody.
No, you're
Hands
not.
on the seat.
Don't do this.
No.
Don't do it. Don't.
The hell is this?
Bruh.
So he said, yeah.
Oh, hell no.
He drove
The
off.
hell is this?
Man,
Drove off.
no shots fired at the car.
None.
We went from pulling guns out
Right.
to, yo, I'm finna go.
Right. Right.
Wow.
Now, what was interesting is he called a couple of codes, and I researched them to try to see if we could find them, but they were nowhere to be found anywhere on the internet. One, he said red eye, red eye, and then he said something about this is double blue. You're in double blue right now, and it's like they responded to that. So that means that in this world made for whiteness, they've got a language that is not included for the denizens.
Wow.
Citizens have the conversation. Denizens have no
Wow.
idea what that is.
That's heavy.
I believe that.
Surprised there was, well, I'm not going to say I'm surprised. Why am I saying I'm surprised? There was not one shot fired at the moving vehicle.
No.
Taser.
Now, you know, if that was a black man, they would have said he tried to run me over with the car.
Right.
Damn. Go ahead, officer.
Yep.
All right, so let's go down to the next one. Let's go deal with the next one. Because the things that we worry about as far as trying to keep dignity is not something that they worry about. So this is a story about South Dallas pastors that are concerned about the violence in the neighborhoods.
Play the other one first.
Okay.
Wait. These are pastors
Yes.
that are concerned about violence in the neighborhood.
Right.
Yes.
Meanwhile, there's 10 churches on 2 blocks, within a 2-block radius in the hood.
Yes.
But they're concerned, okay.
Yeah.
Play. Don't play that one first. Play the one that says
on track for 16.
Yeah, on track for the most murders in 16 years.
Yeah.
Play that one first, and then we're gonna play the pastors.
Father and son lost to violence, 15 years apart.
I've had a slight deja vu going to the funeral home, you know, looking at his body.
The father, Hosea Abdallah, dying in 2005. The son, also named Hosea, killed in a robbery in February.
I feel for the people here in Dallas that don't feel safe, because I don't.
Already, Dallas has exceeded last year's murder toll of 198. This year, at least 227 have been killed, and Dallas is on track to have the most murders in 16 years.
It's almost one every night.
Sheldon Smith, president of the National Black Police Association.
They happen downtown, they happen in southern Dallas, North Dallas. They're occurring all over the place.
The statistics show most homicide victims are black males, often killed by other black males.
We cannot bypass the fact that African-American males, young African-American males, are dying at a high rate.
Leaving Natasha to be yet another grieving black mother.
They talk about Black Lives Matter, and we did all the marching and protesting, but do Black lives really matter?
2 men and a woman have been accused of killing her son. One of those men, Shane Wright, was released on bond in September.
It doesn't end with my son's death. There's court and trials I still have to prepare for.
She worries about her 7-year-old grandson, Christian.
He always say, I want to get them back, and I don't want him to feel revenge has to be taken.
And fears another generation will be lost to violence.
To have him saying, I don't want to die, and there's nothing I can do but hold him.
In Dallas, I'm Tanya Iser.
So that's what the city of Dallas is dealing with right now. We up to 220, I think it was 226 or something like that. Mind you, that's 365, 365 days in a year.
Right.
So you close to a murder a day. We talking about in Dallas, that is a city. We're not talking about the state of Texas.
Right.
We're talking about one city where a black man is killing another black man damn near every day. That's what the nation of Israel is dealing with. Deacon, you was going to say something?
Yeah, I was, when you're looking at this whole platform, man, this whole platform of America, the way our people is, have you ever heard like in the music industry when they said, they start as a team, then one goes solo? Our people been solo all their life.
Hey.
That's what the white man that's why the white man is not afraid of anything. Hey. But when he see unity, he say, whoa. There's something going on here. Hey. But when you playing a solo life, nobody give a damn about you. Hey. You understand? Then they know that. Hey. They know nobody gonna come and fight for you. Hey. You understand? But when we come to the unity, like the Bible said, you understand? Gather together, nation not desire. You understand? Then that when unity, when power. That's what people don't understand. Unity, when power. That's you understand? Man, but if you solo out here, you're gonna have to face these things that happen to our people. Hey. You understand? That's what the Lord is calling us back. Because the only people that can fight our battles is the Lord. But we have to turn back to the commandments. We have to turn back to God's commandments. Hey. We've been inside these churches all our life. Hey. What these churches has done? Nothing. We've been inside Islam, nothing. Inside Buddha's nothing. When you'd rather just give yourself a chance, just surrender, see what God have for you if you turn back to the commandments, to see the power of God on this earth. God's spirit is in this earth, brothers and sisters. Trust me.
And then you keep saying about America. I'm gonna give y'all what the scripture says, a depiction of America. Go to Psalms chapter 107 and verse 10. Psalms chapter 107, verse 10. Read that real quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter 107 and verse 10. Read it out. Such as sit in darkness.
That's what the nation of Israel is in right now. Gross darkness here in America. Not knowing your culture, your heritage, your nationality, that's darkness. Because then you cling to every ounce of sin you can think of, like what you mentioned earlier, Deke, about and you said it too, Officer Shema, our culture being twerking music, hip hop, rap, R&B, and everything else. That's sitting in darkness. Go ahead.
Such as sit in darkness and in the shadow of death.
It said in the shadow of death. So whether it's by your own people or by all the other nations, the nation of Israel is in the shadow of death. Your shadow follows you wherever you go. So death amongst the nation of Israel, it follows us wherever we go apart from the scriptures. The Lord didn't create us for that. The Lord created us to be immortal. And because of our sin, that's why we're in the position that we're in. That's why we got to come day after day. And what how many shows do we get to really talk about, what we've created, like you mentioned, what we've created, what we've invented. Every show, somebody dying, somebody getting shot. We hitting records, not for the number of inventions, not for the number of people that are going to college, because of how many people are killing each other.
You know what's crazy? It seems like so-called blacks are competing with each other. Now Dallas wants to compete with Chicago now to see which one could murder, who could get the highest rate of murder.
Right.
It's crazy. That's why these nations don't respect us. That's why, like Deacon brought out earlier, the astonishment of our people is just insane. And the Most High has a problem with that. Now that area where this brother passed away, do we have a camp there?
Yes,
I know
sir.
we have a camp downtown Dallas.
Yes, South Dallas.
South Dallas.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah, we are
praises.
there.
So now,
What was that scripture in Isaiah 3 about our sin? It's Isaiah 3, right? Talking about sin. Our sin is in the front of us. Is that 3?
not our sinful nation laden with sin, not that.
What you at? What was that?
Isaiah 1 and 4, our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint.
Let us read that verse again, slow.
Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
When you're looking at the black community, we laden with sin. Adultery, fornication, homosexual. Even the society, think about it. Nature can teach us something. Because in nature, you don't see two animals together, two males together. You understand? Even though our own present in this world, where you see a man and a woman have children. Now, how the hell we experiment things that are going to destroy us as a people? Sin destroy our nation. That's why we're in the bottom now, because of sin. Right? Now we still trying to try things to get us deeper in the hole. That's what God is saying right here, man. Read it again from the top.
Our sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers.
You see that? God said we are a seed of evildoer because we reject the commandments. Go ahead.
Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken the Lord.
You see that? We have forsaken the Lord. Because the Lord give us commandments, statutes to follow. Then the Lord telling us that within His commandment there is blessing. Within His commandment there is curses. Which way we went? We went the way of the curses. That's why we talk about your guys today. Because we back in the same philosophy, repent or die. But what you do, you will continue trust of your oppressor. Then you looking at your oppressor, years after years, he's doing worse to you. Years after years, he's doing worse to you. When your eyes going to be open and realize said, this man have not been friendly. It had been an enemy that God set over us. When we're going to realize and acknowledge that? Go ahead.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward.
Yeah, man, look at, we get 2020. Are we not going backward? What prosperity we had?
What progress?
What
They keep talking
progress?
about progress. What progress?
You understand? It's for like building nation. But we in IUIC, guess what? We're going to do it different. We're going to build nation up. We're going to build family up. Black man, we're going to raise you up to be a man. Black sister, we're going to raise you up to stand up as a woman. You understand? We're going to raise this nation up wide in the eyes of the enemy. They're not going to see nothing coming. They don't expect us from us. They expect us to be divided. They expect us to be terrible, hatred, malice. Guess what? All these things going to change within the laws of God. That's why we have to turn back to the laws. Christian church has failed us. You understand? Islam has failed us. All religion has failed us. But the laws of God, that's what's going to build us back up. You understand? To receive what was promised to our forefathers, everlasting life. But when we're going to realize we're going backward, we're not going forward. That's why we're doing all the complaint, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter ain't doing nothing for us. Black Lives Matter should start in the black community first. That's when they're doing the job. How the hell, anytime a black man die, they're going to men scream Black Lives Matter? No. Before they're dead, you got to fix them before they get killed. You understand? But Black Lives Matter. That's how you know it's a bias, it's a racist thing going on.
It's by lesbians.
Wow.
That says it all. How could you say Black Lives Matter, but
you
you're
yourself,
with a woman, you can't reproduce. There's some other words I want to say, but I ain't going to say it. You know, you can't reproduce. The first commandment given to mankind was what? Be fruitful and multiply. Two lesbians who founded Black Lives Matter, how could you say Black Lives Matter, but you won't reproduce?
But Captain Isaac, let's looking at this thing in the whole. How would you move with sin once something good come out of sin? Would that make sense? If you co-op, would you been anything that you co-op? Would you been anything out of co-op is going to be co-option?
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? How could that you yourself, you in the mix of your sin, but you trying to stand for something that is good? You don't make no damn sense whatsoever. But this is what society push. You can be a homosexual, everything good. You can raise up kids, brother. You can raise up kids, sister. But what you think their kids gonna come out of that? Destroy. It's the same thing. If our kids is not adopting to laws, statutes, and commandments, we ain't going nowhere. This whole way is going to be destroyed. But we, prophet coming back, we ain't going to accept that. We're going to preach as we met, seeing the condition of our people. We're going to raise them up to be men, to be women in this society, man. That's why y'all afraid of us. Because we're not here for you to buy us with no money. Money ain't nothing to us. We come here to do a job, to raise up the 12 tribe of the house of Israel. That's it. We ain't no hate group. Guess what? We see the condition of our people. You damn right we mad.
That's it.
That's a cold precept.
So let's play that. So let's play the next one. The pastor.
Some South Dallas pastors say they're concerned about the violence, murders, and street racing in their neighborhoods.
First of all, the number of murders that have been committed in our city is astounding. And we know that something has to be done.
They believe part of the solution is more police officers in high violent crime areas, not fewer.
We are not in favor of removing funds from the police department. None of us would want to live in the city of Dallas, or any city for that matter, any community, without police.
They say they support police, but what they don't support is money that's being used to buy military-like equipment.
Can we pause that real quick? Pause that real quick. Hey, Cap, earlier you brought a scripture out, Ecclesiastes 3:15, and it talked about things happening over and over. What's happened is going to happen. This is the exact same setup that caused the 1994 or 84, the bill that
Joe Biden signed?
Joe Biden passed. Remember, a large number of the supporters of that bill were black pastors in the black community. So with him coming in, we're seeing the exact same setup happen to where with the Hedgelian dialect, where they create the issue, they already have a solution, and they force people
Order through chaos.
Order through chaos.
So here's the thing with these passages that I don't understand. Get Ezekiel 22, verse 25. You want black violence to stop, black on black crime? Why don't you teach that the so-called black men in America are the Israelites?
That's right.
Why don't you teach that Jesus Christ is a black man who died only for the nation of Israel? That alone would instill self-esteem in our brothers. That would stop and alleviate all the confusion that's going on. Read that.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 23 and verse 35. 22
and verse 25.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 22 and verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof.
Go ahead.
Like a roaring lion, ravening the prey.
So these so-called pastors are supposed to be preachers, prophets, and so forth. Go ahead. So they said their spirit is ravening the prey. Go ahead.
They have devoured souls.
They had devoured souls. Whose soul? Our souls. Because we were taught wrong. It was misleading. All the time in the cemetery schools, as the bishop would say, guess what? All of that crap that they learned was of no gain, no value. So now it's being passed down to us. Instead of raising us up, like, damn, we are the greatest people to walk this planet Earth, this galaxy, I should say, right? They got us praying to a white Jesus.
Right.
So now when I look at my brother to my left or to my right, and there's some kind of commotion or strife between us, now I want to kill him.
Right.
Because I don't see Christ in my brother. And that's a product of Christianity. That is a product. I guarantee you this man knows that Jesus Christ is a black man. But he will not teach it. He refuses to teach it. Go ahead, read.
They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof.
The treasures and precious things is tithing. That's the money. That's all they care about. Okay? And as a product of these destroyed religions and the things that they teach, they made many widows. That's why there's going to be black on black violence. The only thing that's going to wake up our people is the Bible, and that's only being done by the Israelites.
That's right. Yeah, get me that verse. Psalm 32. Let's start at 10.
Psalm 32 and 10. The book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 10.
No, 33, verse 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 33 and verse 10. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught.
Because think about it. If the Lord was not playing a role in this, guess what? We would have been destroyed. Because they're already planning things to get us do the things we do today. To kill one another. And they already set up things like that, putting guns in our neighborhood. You understand? We don't have the factories of guns. You understand? They do. Go ahead.
He maketh the devices of the people of none effect.
You see that? They have devices that set up against us. The Lord make it a none effect. What you see now is device that been set up for years. Don't think 2020 is the device changed. No, the device, what you see now, like Isaac went out, you remember you went out and said, what the scripture you went out?
That God requires the past.
Yeah, that God required the past. Whatever happened in the past, that's what happened in today. They already set us for the failure. Go ahead.
The counsel of the Lord standeth forever.
I want you guys to focus in verse 11. Go ahead.
The counsel of the Lord standeth forever.
Go ahead.
The thoughts of his heart to all generations.
You understand? You can have any thought you want, but the thought of God, that's what's going to stand. God said his son is black. God said the children of Israel are black. God said we are the children of Israel. That's the thought of God. So no man can change that. You understand? Then I'm going to show you, go back to chapter 32 now.
Okay.
Let's start at verse 7.
The book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 7. Thou art my hiding place. Thou shalt preserve me from trouble. Thou shalt compass me about with songs of deliverance. Selah. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye.
You see what God said? He will guide us. Where we should go. But our people has not been guided. Their guidance, where was their guidance in Christianity? None. Where was the guidance in Islam? None. What about Buddha? None. We would never be here and talk to you about you are the children of Israel. Christ is black. Because we didn't have no guidance. These prophets who's coming here, yeah, we do have guidance to the eyes of God. We're going to guide you the right way. Right way to go. Go ahead.
But be ye not as the horse, or as the mule.
That's the part I want y'all to focus on. The Lord said, for me to guide you, be not like what?
As the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding.
That's what the Lord said. You understand? We cannot war like the horse or the mule. Because that's what we look like. With people with no understanding, man. We went left, we went to vote, still something happened. We went to march, still something happened. We're like, well, what the hell going on here? Black Lives Matter, it's still the same killing happening. What the hell going on here? We look like a dumb mule, man, who don't have no understanding whatsoever, man.
You know what's crazy about that, Deacon? In every black household, I could guarantee you that there's a Bible. They just don't open it. They refuse to read it. It's on the lamp table, lampstand, collecting dust. So the solution to our problems is right here. This is the antidote right here. But we don't want to take it. Like the deacon said, we want to march, you want to vote, you want to lay down. I know a couple of years ago they were doing this lay-in thing in New York and Macy's. You see a whole bunch of black people laying on the ground like this, retarded, and then white people stepping over them still shopping. I'm like, yo, what the whole world is just looking at us like we're just super retarded.
Believe me, Isaac, it's scriptural. They're going to walk all over us. We're going to think laying down, they ain't going to walk all over us. No, they're going to walk all over you. They don't give a damn.
We are the only people, man. Oh, man, God help us.
Yo, you see that part when they say they have no understanding? Let's read it again one more time.
Yes, sir. The book of Psalms, chapter 32 and verse 9. Be ye not as the horse or as the mule, which have no understanding, whose mouth must be held in with bit and bridle, lest they come near unto thee.
Because these animals must be controlled. You understand? Now let's go. You remember they say about no understanding. What's supposed to give us as a nation understanding? Let's get that. I think is that 110 or 111?
Yes, sir.
Let me get that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 111 and verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
You see that? The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Go ahead.
A good understanding.
If you want any understanding of God, you must do what?
Have all they that do his commandments.
Then what the hell Christianity is talking about? Grace, grace. What about mercy? Mercy. You're going to find out these grace thing you're referring to, you don't know nothing about. Grace was supposed to build you up, bring you to the next level. But you have not used grace to get you anywhere. But the Lord said, the only way you will have understanding upon this earth is when you keep his commandments. But the black men think, like you said earlier, who talking about education earlier? That was you, brother, right? You said they're thinking that the master degree, the PhD, the whatever degree they have out here, they're going to have understanding. No, the Bible, the Lord that created you, tell you if you want to have any understanding, you got to keep his commandments. That's right. So why don't you just surrender then? Surrender out of Islam, surrender out of Christianity, surrender out of Buddha. Just give God a chance. Then you're going to see how great he is. But until then, you're going to die in your sin. The same scripture you just read in Isaiah. We're full of our sin, thinking that through sin, we're going to have prosperity. Through sin, we're going to send our kids to the best school. Through sin, no. These enemies going to kill us in every street if we don't repent.
That's right.
Tell your guys straight up.
Play the rest of that.
Used to buy military-like equipment.
Pull it back, maybe 10 seconds. Let's get the thought back.
Or any city, for that matter, any community without police.
They say they support police, but what they don't support is money that's being used to buy military-like equipment.
If you do not disperse, you will be arrested. A police department should not need tanks. Those are instruments of warfare.
They want those funds diverted for better training programs for officers and deputies from all agencies who operate in Dallas.
Police are doing a great job, but they need more training in certain areas.
They also say more needs to be done to address the root problems of crime.
The root cause is what I want to focus in on, and that's jobs, that's community, and that's the drug and alcohol problem that we see.
The president of the local National Black Officers Association agrees they cannot fight crime alone.
We've got to get the right people at the table to talk about it.
The pastors want South Dallas to be a safe and vibrant place. They believe working hand in hand with law enforcement is the only way to do that. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
Give me that in Isaiah chapter 9. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 16. Because what y'all are hearing right now is a gross lack of understanding what the deacon brought out in Psalms 32.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err.
That's why the leaders of the nation of Israel, y'all's T.D. Jakeses, y'all give me some more. Creflo Dollars, this brother right here, those are the leaders.
Hey, if people are still following T.D. Jakes after the Supreme Ginsu Session massacre that the bishop been laying down on T.D. Jakes, then you are really just blind or just willfully stupid. Something wrong with you. Get up out of that church. We are right around the corner. He's in downtown Dallas.
He's
right here off of Loop 12. So
Well, he ain't too far away.
No,
Y'all come right
20
over
minutes.
here to Israel United in Christ. That's it. Go ahead.
Read on.
For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them
It
are
says, hold on, slow down. It says, and they that are led of them, the people, all these congregations, the children of Israel that are led by all these pastors are what?
Are destroyed.
That's why y'all got tanks in y'all's communities.
That's right.
That's why y'all got military helicopters in y'all's communities.
That's right.
The Lord said, because y'all are being led by brothers that don't got a clue about what they say they believe every week. Y'all say y'all believe in the Bible, but y'all can't open it up to pull out one solution? So y'all say it's jobs, education, and he said something else. That's the issue.
Right.
That's not the same thing we was called upon when there was leash their dog on us, when there was with the water hose. That's not the same thing we was reaching for. Right. So why are we paying? Why are we coming again to 2020? We talking about the same thing.
Right.
Something wrong with us.
Yep.
Right. He said jobs, education, and drugs, right?
Oh, yeah, drug. Right,
yeah.
right.
Let me read verse 17. Therefore, the Lord shall have no joy in their young men.
The Most High don't have no joy in the children of Israel. All our young men that are killing each other at massive rates. We setting records for murder.
Neither shall have mercy on their fatherless and widows.
That's why you saw the sister earlier. That's why she was crying. She lost a son and
his father.
And his father.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For everyone is an hypocrite and evildoer.
The Lord said the children of Israel, our leaders, they're hypocrites and evildoers. So if you being led and taught by a hypocrite and an evildoer, what does that make you?
Oh, thank you, brother. I was about to say that. You the same way. You pick up the Bible, don't come with no solution. Just like they don't have no solution for you, you're not going to have solution for your children. You're not going to have solution for your wife. It's the same demonic spirit they have is going to turn on you. You understand? That's what we see today.
Right.
Look, where's their pastors who's supposed to heal the people? You know what I mean? Where they at? Then they inside the churches, just get the 10%. Let me get this money so I can drop the Ferrari. Let me get this money, I can drop this Bentley. That's all they're about because they're blind themselves. So what you think they're going to preach? Blindness to you. That's why we're telling you that Captain Isaac just said, if you really want to search out light where the law, statutes, and commandment of God being taught, check us out. Check us out. We can unify ourselves and get better, and get our perfection out of it. But these pastors, yeah, we need the police 100%. We need the police in the black community. But guess what? We so clueless we cannot have our own supervise in our own community. Get rid of the drug dealer. Get rid of the pimp. Get rid of the whoremonger. Get rid of the homosexual who destroy their community. Get rid of all that. That means we cannot come together in that table first. Let's come with that table in our own nation first before we can invite the enemy.
That's right.
Man, but no, we don't have no clue. We don't have no understanding whatsoever, man.
That's right.
That's a cold precept.
Okay. For everyone is an hypocrite and evildoer, and every mouth speaketh folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away.
That's why Deacon Cap said earlier, week after week, that's what we're going to be talking about.
Right.
Somebody getting shot down in the street, somebody getting choked out, mass murder rates. The Lord said, because, read the bottom part of that.
But
for all this.
For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still.
IUIC is down the street. That little sanctuary is down the street.
That's right.
Yeah, give me the scripture that Moses said, today I set before you life and death.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
See, Moses said he set before us life and death. The life he set before us is God's commandments, applying it into our kids, into our lives, right? The death sentence is happening today in the black community because we didn't want to choose life. So the spirit of death is in our community. That's why you see our son being put to death, our daughter being put to death, because we refuse the commandment. Why the spirit of death is in our community? Why they march in our community like we're a bunch of animals? Why they do that? Because the spirit of death gonna stay in our community until we repent and keep the commandment of God. People are looking for solution. It's the spirit of death is in this earth. Why that spirit keep on following us? Because we reject the commandments. We reject the life that God trying to give us. You understand? The solution is to turn back to the commandment. Then the spirit of death will like at least give our neighborhood a break. But right now what you're looking at is the death of our people every day. They're looking for solution. The solution is turn back to the commandment. Either you're going to live a good life or you're going to live an evil life. But while you live an evil life, don't complain about death. You understand? Don't complain about death because you live in an evil life.
I'm going to turkey back right off of that, what you just said. Actually, I had to go to Lamentations 3. Lamentation 3. You said, why are you complaining about death? Lamentation chapter 3, read verse 38.
The book of Lamentations.
Verse 39.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 3 and verse 39. Wherefore doth a living man complain? A man for the punishment of his sins?
The Lord said, why are you complaining? You being judged because you're a whoremonger. Why are you complaining for being judged for being a murderer? Why are you complaining about that? Read on.
Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord.
The Lord said, don't complain. Just turn back to me.
That's right. Because you notice that in our spirit, we never can consider and say, you know what? I was living an evil life. That's what's going on in my family today. That's why we being put to death. That's why we lock most of us in jail. That's why most of us in the systems, you understand, there's nobody who's come to deliver us out of the system. You have to come to a conclusion that yourself say, you know what? I'm evil. That's why these things happening in our community. None of us want to accept that we are evil. Everybody want to play a righteous card. We are a bunch of hypocrites, man. Everybody want to play the righteous card. Every Sunday, they're inside the churches. What after their churches? They go to the corner store with their pork chop, shrimp, and lobsters. Then they all praise to the Lord. No. That's what the spirit of death going to rest in your community. Until you acknowledge these Leviticus 11 is telling us what to eat, what not to eat. Leviticus 23 is telling us what to worship, what not to worship. You understand? God given us days to worship him. Then I guarantee you next month, guess what they're going to be in? Celebrate Christmas. New Year's. Then they wonder why the spirit of death still in the mix of them. Y'all crazy.
And you had something?
Now, well, I was going to say, Ecclesiastes 8 and 11 says the reason that they don't get straight is because they're not being killed, or they don't understand it. So because sentence is not is not exexecuted quickly, expediently, then the heart of them is set to do evil.
Fully setting them to do evil.
So none of the pastors are teaching them what their evil is. So they have no sense or understanding or any thought of why it is that they're dying, because the leaders that are guiding them are not telling them this is why we keep dying. They don't seek to turn them around.
Exactly. When you're thinking about reason have a big key to play in our community. Our people is not reason. The spirit of reason is disappearing in our mind.
Right.
When you have reason, you're able to discern things a little bit. You're able to observe things a little bit. But if you don't have no reason, you're not dealing with reason, anything you see seems to be norm. Because they're doing it on TV, so it have to be norm.
Right.
Look at the movie I just watched. They have to be norm. Yeah. No. Reasoning. The only way you may have reasoning is when you turn back to the commandment of God. Then you're able to see clearly what's going on. It's demonic spirit is running around this America. You understand? Then our people is joined to demonic spirit, man. You understand? You got the grandma been inside this church for, 20, 40 years.
Right.
She have not learned nothing yet. You got the grandmother, the grandson, the granddaughter. They have not learned nothing yet. When you're going to come to reason and say, you know what? We are the children of Israel. We have to turn back to the commandment of God. Until then, that's nothing we can do for you. That's why we teach here. We say, repent, Israel, keep God's commandment and live. Then if you choose not to, don't complain about the spirit of death then. You understand? Then look at that. Let's get the scripture in Woman 1 in 28. Let's read that right quick.
The book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 28. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge.
Because they're retaining men's knowledge. You understand? They don't want to retain in God's knowledge. That's the hell with God's laws. The hell with God's commandment. We're going to live under grace. Right. Grace is an umbrella to those who accept their wrong. Grace is not an umbrella to you that's still living in sin.
That's right.
That's why you're dumb, stupid. Right. You're dealing with a dumb spirit, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind.
You see that? God is giving you over to the mindset you got. Because you don't want to attain God knowledge. Let's look at God knowledge. Let's look at what God give us as a matter of fact, may go back to Hosea. I like the one in Hosea, then we're going to go. Because a lot of people want to know what is God knowledge. Because you heard a lot of people say, I got the knowledge of God. I got the knowledge of God. No, the knowledge of God, you got to go according to the precept to show you what is the knowledge of God. Go ahead. My people are lost.
Oh, the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
You see that? That's clear. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. When you're looking at the black community, we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We're not unified. We are in this for ourselves. That's what's going on. We are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Now let's look at the knowledge God's referring to see if it's Buddha knowledge. Maybe it's Christianity, brother. Maybe it's Islam. Let's see which knowledge God's referring to, because we confused as a people. Everybody said they got knowledge. Let's see which knowledge the Bible referring to. Or maybe science knowledge. Go ahead.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the Lord at his mouth.
You see that? The priest's lips should do what? Seek out knowledge. So that people that want to learn knowledge, they're going to seek it out of the priest's mouth. What is knowledge? It's the commandment of God. That's what God said, my people lost for the lack of knowledge. That's why we just went in Romans 1 and 28. It's telling you that because you reject knowledge, you're going to be in madness out here, man. Look at that black community. It's full of madness. Men and men together, woman and woman together, drug dealers together. They're all in one community. Homeworking in one community. You understand? Adultery in one community. All a foul spirit. You know how the spirit of abortion is justified in the black community? Because of knowledge. They don't have no knowledge. So the spirit of abortion is justified in the black community because they're a bunch of savage. They reject marriage. They reject anything God trying to push out here. So now the spirit of abortion is justified because you will go to there, kill your kids. You go to there thinking that, I just opened my leg. I don't like my boyfriend. I'm just going to open it up. Because of knowledge, sister. You don't have no knowledge. According to knowledge, Hebrew 13:4 is telling you what is knowledge. Marriage is honorable. That's knowledge. Boyfriend and girlfriend is the spirit of homologous. But this spirit dwelling in the black community. Nobody can say that's wrong. The mother had their daughter having kids inside the house. Oh, that's my little baby girl. Sister.
She's my best friend.
Yeah, she's my best. That's wrong. That's a sin in there. Go ahead. All these things that we just watched, you see me, all these things that brother just went in the news, it's all because we don't have knowledge. When you don't have no knowledge, you're going to accept anything of perception, whatever the white man put out there, whatever our people learn, the knowledge that went of the white man, they want to push it in the black community. But the only knowledge we should be pushing in the black community is God's laws. That's what we lack of. We lack of God's laws in the black community, man. Go ahead.
Let's go back to the video. Finish that out. That was the end of the video? Okay.
Hey, Yaku.
Yes, sir.
Feel like we just had a hammer time moment.
We had a
South
hammer
Bronx.
time. Right.
Hammer time moment. Hammer time.
Right.
Bring it out.
Yeah. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. There was, hey, you know, we got 6 minutes. Hey, go to the bottom of that, because the whole thing of this starting. Let's see how we lose dignity. Go to the bottom of that. Pull up that video that's at the bottom, that last video. Go to it quick. It's got timestamps on it. It's got timestamps. Y'all got it? Start at 0. We're going to 0, 1 to 111. What this situation is, this is from the first show, is a woman. Now, she's married to an Edomite, so she's lost. She has no knowledge, like Deacon said. But she laid her dignity to the side, her so-called black dignity as a lawyer. She married an Edomite who is an artist, basically no job, can't support or take care of her. She wants to refinance her house, and when
appraiser?
When an appraiser comes to appraise the house, because he sees a black woman and a black child in the house with a white man, he appraises the house for $100,000 less than what it was worth.
Come on now, dog.
And her making up her mind just started at 133 to 233. Her making up her mind, this was the knowledge that she felt was the best way to go to keep her dignity. Start at 133.
So she decided to get a second appraisal with a new appraiser. Same house, but something different.
Hey, it's Abena again, and back with another edition of the things that we are taking down from our walls. There are a few things in my house that are demonstrably black. So clearly the pictures that we have all over the house with all of our family members, with my grandmother getting married back in the 40s. We have the picture of Charlie Bolden, who's an African-American astronaut. Pictures of me when I was a baby. Black Panther.
We both put away pictures, and it's like, these are people I love, these are people I care about, and I need to hide them.
The hell is this?
That was very tough.
And then, of course, the primary thing that we did was remove both me and my son from the home during the second appraisal.
When you're
Jump to the next one, 312, 335. Make it quick. 312 to 335. This is the solution she came up with. She had to hide her blackness in her house and leave the white male in the house. Let it play.
She took down all the photos of her family, replacing them only with photos of her husband and his white family. And he is the person in the home when the new appraiser comes. And when the second appraisal comes back, the value of their house has shot up more than $100,000, a 40% increase.
Black dignity in a world made for whiteness.
Once she removed any semblance of dignity or self-esteem or self-respect, all of a sudden, the value of the house jumped up. $100,000.
Yeah, but when the people come, though, they see her as a servant to the house.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
She's a
she was
servant.
like that.
Wow.
She was like that woman in Get Out that was
Right.
fixing her hair and smirking. She had to act like that, man. That's a
Right.
That's a damn embarrassment, man.
Yeah,
that's an embarrassment.
Yeah, but I think we was in North Carolina. I think brother was talking about that. We were just talking about that in North Carolina. Some houses, if a black man, I think Deacon Labachaa was talking about that. He said, in Oklahoma, if you want to sell your house, you have to take all your pictures down. You cannot leave your picture like they see there's a black man was living there.
Right.
You understand? They're not going to buy the house just because of that. So this is 2020, family. Then you're talking about America and racist. America born on racist.
And America's gonna die a racist. In the very last hour. This is America, like that dude said in that rap song. Wow. Well, all praises to the Most High. Deacon Labachaa, it was really a pleasure having you. Yes. Please come back and visit, please.
Yes, sir.
All praises to the Most High. Deacon brought that hammer time, that fire to the show. So, brothers and sisters, please subscribe to In the Scripts on YouTube, In the Scripts on Facebook. We have that as well. IUIC Dallas on Facebook, IUIC Dallas on YouTube, and more importantly, IUIC in the Classroom on YouTube and Facebook as well. And don't forget IUIC Dark Ages. And shout out to the Booster Club. All praises to the Most High. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. The Most High sees everything that you're doing. Continue to donate. All right. All praises to the Most High. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.